You're terrible, Muriel.
Welcome to the Too Old or Pure Gold Movie Podcast. In today's special Valentine's Day episode, we're discussing the 1994 rom-com Muriel's Wedding. But before I proceed, Mathew, why did you pick this as a Valentine's Day movie? Because it didn't really strike me as one.
Did I pick it for a Valentine's movie?
Yeah, when we were discussing what we wanted for Valentine's Day, you said it has to be Muriel's Wedding.
Because it was my way of getting one of my movies in.
Oh. Well done.
And I think actually there's a deep lesson in this movie about love and who you should love, and it's sort of a different take on love, so it's the appropriate thing.
Okay. The format of our podcast, two Gen Xers rewatch beloved movies from our youth to find out, are they really as good as we remember? To help us debate and ultimately pass judgment, we ask our millennial co-hosts to watch these movies for the first time and help us determine, are they too old or pure gold? I'm your host, Olen Vanderleeden, representing Gen X. Joining me today is my Gen X co-host, Mathew Stockton.
You're terrible, Olen.
I feel like true, but why?
just in general, okay?
No, I'm playing on "You're terrible, Muriel," one of the best lines in the movie.
Oh, I see.
No.
Hilarious.
It doesn't hit the same without the accent.
It doesn't, does it? You're terrible, Muriel.
I thought you were trying to balance out the fact that you gave me one compliment today before I was recording.
I gave you two, but go on.
So, representing the millennials today, this week we have the lovely Emily returning, and we're glad to have you back, Emily. It's been a while.
Happy to be here. Love coming up for some Valentine's Day.
And representing Gen Z, we have the lovely Nicole.
Hello.
Before we get into this episode, just a reminder that we need your support to grow this podcast. So please remember to like, follow, subscribe, and maybe tell someone about it. Today's movie is the 1994 romantic comedy movie Muriel's Wedding. Muriel's Wedding stars people I don't know or didn't know: Toni Collette, Rachel Griffiths, and Bill Hunter. But I looked Toni up and saw that she was the mom from Sixth Sense, so I have to give her huge props. That was an amazing acting role that she had. The movie was directed by a director I've never heard of, PJ Hogan. This is PJ's second movie after the made-for-TV movie The Dressmaker. PJ went on to direct a bunch of movies I've never heard of, except for My Best Friend's Wedding, which I guess I have. But I guess PJ likes wedding-based movies, I'm not sure. The tagline from the movie poster is a comedy about a small-town girl who didn't fit in but is about to learn how to stand out. IMDb describes the film as a young social outcast in Australia steals money from her parents to finance a vacation where she hopes to find happiness and perhaps love. Now, for those of you that have not seen the movie, I asked my 93-year-old dad to watch Muriel's Wedding and summarize the plot.
Muriel dreams about a big, glamorous wedding. She lives in a small Australian coastal village where she has a lot of friends who often aren't very nice to her. You see, many of them have boyfriends or are already married, while she has never even had a date. She feels unattractive and unworthy, and it doesn't help that she has a verbally abusive father. The so-called friends are downright mean to her, and all of that makes Muriel feel like an outcast. One day, after stealing money from her father, Muriel runs into fellow outcast Rhoda, and the two decide to escape to a new life in Sydney. Once there, Muriel tries to reinvent herself, but Muriel remains focused on marriage, which sadly ends in a marriage of convenience. Now, back in her hometown, her family life unravels. Her mother commits suicide after her father announces his plan to divorce her. Muriel realizes that she should end her immature ambitions and aim at a more authentic lifestyle. She confronts her father and then decides to leave her past behind. She returns to Sydney, and a more mature life and a steady relationship with her good friend Rhoda, and that is the end.
So we can roll right into overall reaction. Mathew, this was your pick. Maybe you want to go first.
Yeah, so this movie is I'll get into some more of it later, but I've loved this movie from the time that I saw it, and this is like one of Toni Collette's first movies, and this movie is actually loved by gay guys my age, right? and there's actually reasons for it, even though there's not a single gay character in this film. But every time I watch it, I'm struck by the same thing, that it kind of, for me, it ages like a memory, and the kind of memory that you don't revisit because it reminds you of how sort of like lonely certain moments in your life were and how hard you had to work to look fine anyway. And what I like about this movie is it starts out playful, then it quietly tightens the room around you. It's such a good film. Yeah.
Emily, what did you think of it?
Very neutral. Kind of like, when you pick up a book and you're just like, yeah, I don't have any real complaints about this book, but I'm probably not recommending it to friends, and I'm probably not picking it, I'm not going to do a reread. It's one where I'm coming into today with a very open mind, because it's not that I disliked it. It's just, I kind of felt underwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I saw little charms in it, but I don't know. There's just something where it didn't spark that magic. So, you know what? If you guys can convince me of the magic in there, I'm all for it today.
Great. Open mind. I like it. How did it strike Gen Z?
I pretty much completely agree. I'm very neutral. I finished watching it and I thought, I just watched a movie. No other thoughts.
Exactly.
I'm going to say a little bit more, and, Mathew, I'm not messing with you because I know you like this movie. I don't like to just dump on movies because, that are precious to somebody else. But, for me, I didn't love it. Now, it had some fun elements in it, but as a whole movie, I found it a bit boring and not particularly well written or executed. And I thought about it, and it had two elements of this movie that I do totally enjoy in movies generally. I love a good dysfunctional family story. And the family in Muriel's wedding was fun that way, but honestly, I feel like there's other movies that have done it better. And I thought about Little Miss Sunshine or Napoleon Dynamite. Those movies were about dysfunctional families that were entertaining.
But it was just a sad dysfunctional family. It wasn't an entertaining one.
Olen and who's the mom in Little Miss Sunshine?
Oh yeah, Toni Collette. Good.
Toni Collette.
Oh, that's very interesting. I didn't even notice that, Mathew, but that's good. The other thing I like in a movie in general is an underdog story, an underdog who discovers that they have value. It always resonates with me, but for me, when I think about a movie that did it well, I think The Full Monty is the better version of that. So, it had elements that I like, but it just didn't really hit for me. And then there's the whole wedding part, which I can't relate to at all, but I'm not a wedding movie guy. So, honestly, it was fine. But after watching it, I really wish I had a time machine and could have watched The Full Monty again instead.
Okay, this is something really random, but as somebody who grew up doing competitive swimming, I was like, as soon as they mentioned that her fiance, then husband, was going to be a major level swimmer, I was looking for plot holes in the swimming. I was searching so hard, and one thing I have to give this movie credit for, no plot holes in the swimming talk.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
I didn't know I was bringing in a swimming subject matter expert. That's awesome.
Really what I was thinking about the whole movie, I mean, it stressed me out because I hate lies. Lies make me so uncomfortable. But really what I was thinking the whole time is it just seems like Muriel has ASD and isn't diagnosed. And it just felt like watching her struggle through life not knowing she has, something more going on.
Yeah. Well, let me get us going by asking Mathew, is Muriel a good person or not?
Yes, she is. So let me explain why. Can I explain why I like this movie?
Yeah, please.
So much?
No,
I'm gonna, before you get into it, just say no, but she wasn't taught to be a good person and she didn't have the tools to do it. So
Good answer.
Now I'm going to let Mathew go.
Mathew, why do you like this movie?
So when I watched it again, because I haven't watched it for years, I thought, why? Like, I remembered gay characters being in it, and there's not a single gay. And I'm like, why was this so big amongst my friends? And remember, like, what year was this? It was a long time ago, right?
Yep.
And I realized it's kind of a coming out movie without being about coming out. So you have Muriel, who lives this double life. You know, inside her head is color and music and desire and fantasy, but outside is conformity and judgment and constant correction. And I think that split is like really deeply familiar to gay people my age, especially pre-coming out or early life. So you learn how to like perform acceptable, and you learn how expensive this performance can be later in your life. And I think Muriel never gets a neat explanation of why she doesn't fit. She's just told she's wrong or too much or not enough, embarrassing or a disappointment. And that kind of mirrors gay people's experience before you have words for it. You don't know what you are. You just know you're being quietly rejected by the room. And I think gay audiences recognize that feeling instantly. And I think what's cool as well is Muriel doesn't end up partnered. That's not a glow up movie, right? She's not partnered or validated or applauded. She leaves. She just leaves. And that resonates with gay people because sometimes real liberation often is just not being where you're not diminished where you're diminished anymore. Right. And so for me, I wouldn't pass good or bad judgments. I would say she's in Porpoise Spit, right? And think of social media is now Porpoise Spit. Like Porpoise Spit has just been exemplified, right? And she's this bright, beautiful, special thing in a shitty small town, and she has to learn to be herself. And I think that's why I like the movie so much.
Yeah, and I have to give it to the movie that they didn't take the easy win with having her find her true love at the end of the movie, right? That seems like it wasn't about that.
She found her friend.
And building off what you said, I mean, the one thing that does resonate is I think everybody's had that feeling that you don't fit in at one point in your life.
Absolutely.
Right? And the two heartbreaking scenes that I really felt were one when her friends say, "We don't want you to hang around with us anymore." Like that's heartbreaking. And the other is to have your dad say, "You're useless, you're nothing, like you're no good." What a horrible thing to do to your kid.
If you tell children that, they're gonna believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing is this is called Muriel's Wedding, right? But the whole point isn't the wedding. That's why I kind of chose it for Valentine's Day, because it's about learning to love yourself. And, she doesn't actually want a wedding. She wants safety, like not physical safety, but social safety. She wants a sense that she's crossed that certain line and the criticism will stop, right? And then she realizes that wasn't what she needed, right?
It just felt like a hyperfixation on weddings itself, not even like necessarily the concept of weddings, but just like she was obsessed with the dresses and the decor and the planning. Like it felt like more of a hyperfixation or a hobby of like
but it was
planning.
about safety. It was about safety. It was about acceptance. That's the point of the movie.
I think that was probably one of my favorite parts about it was the fact that they didn't lean into kind of that romantic comedy. She didn't find her happily ever after, and she really came to accept and love herself.
Yeah. And
kind of understand her own self-worth, and she kind of, while still holding her family in her heart, it seemed like she kind of opted more for her chosen family. And so I thought that the entire movie actually did do a fantastic job of exploring what love means and beyond just romantic love.
Yeah.
I did like the chosen family aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part was very strong. And, it's making me realize that this is a good movie. I just didn't enjoy it. So
that's fine.
Yeah. So then let me ask you this question. One thing that confused me about the character, Muriel, is why she didn't end up with the first guy she dated. That guy that asked her out in the video store seemed very sweet and seemed like a good fit for her.
I think she wasn't ready yet. In my head, she ends up with him later, once she's worked on herself. But she just wasn't ready yet for a healthy relationship because she was still in the compulsive lying phase of her life.
Okay.
Did anyone else because for me, the entire way through, I was waiting for her and her friend to come out and end up in a relationship
Yes.
together. Like, for me, I'm just like, yeah, the reason why you're not finding success with guys is because you haven't figured out your own sexuality yet. Like,
I had that question.
Yeah, that's interesting because
I would've liked
for me, you know, that friendship was kind of the emotional center of the film, but not as romance. I think Muriel and Rhonda, you know, for me that was, you know, Rhonda comes in and she doesn't try to fix Muriel, right? And she names the cruelty that's around Muriel, but she doesn't normalize it, and it's a friendship built on honesty, and there's no sort of, oh, the girl that's gonna do the makeup and make her a better person. It's just a real friendship, right? And that's why I liked, you know, and Rhonda, what's that actress's name? Like, these two actresses
Rachel
are both
Griffiths.
fantastic. Rachel Griffith and Toni Collette are both such good actors, man. Oh my God.
Toni
Like,
Collette's a
I
brilliant
tend to,
actor.
yeah.
I didn't recognize her this young. I'd never seen her this young before.
Yeah, and a few, some of my lesbian friends thought it was about a relationship between them, but I think the point was that it's not that as well, though, right? It's Muriel just having a friend that doesn't judge her and allowing to become herself, right?
You know what? One other thing I want to ask is for your guys' thoughts on the family. You know, the dad, the mom, the brothers. But I'll just say that one thing that I think was missing from this film, I would have liked to have seen a transformation for the mom as well. Like, it was a tragic ending for the mom, and I would have loved to see her,
It was devastating.
evolve as well. That was really sad that she never really got out of her funk.
Because that foreshadows what Muriel could have become. And that person needs to die.
and I just thought it was so heartbreaking too, because early on in the movie, there was just the occasional time where she kind of gave me Mrs. Bennet vibes from Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Just she had these occasional little lines, and then so when she died, I was just like, no, Mrs. Bennet doesn't die. Like, how dare you? I was yeah, it was heartbreaking.
And another heartbreaking scene with the mom is when she said to Muriel, it's like, you didn't steal the money, did you? You wouldn't do that to me. It was just, that made me feel sad because I knew she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thoughts on the dad and the brothers? Like, this is a really dysfunctional family.
Yeah. I think the dad failed in parenting his children. He didn't give them the skills they needed to go out and live their own lives. He just made them into worthless accessories, and that's so sad because they deserved a chance to have a good life on their own.
Yeah.
I hope those brothers turn themselves into something too.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yep.
I find that there's times where, kind of seasons in my life where I'm really okay with watching dysfunctional family movies. And this time I found it really hard to watch. I think it's more just from a personal standpoint, though, where right before winter break, I had so many students telling me how they weren't looking forward to being home for 2 weeks. And so just watching this, oh God, this time I had a real struggle with it because I was watching it, and if I wasn't thinking about it in terms of Pride and Prejudice, I was thinking about my students. So if I leaned a little heavily on the Jane Austen this time, it's dysfunctional families.
Well, I think it's because this wasn't a typical dysfunctional family in a movie where they try to make it entertaining. It was just sad.
Yep.
There was no comedy in the dysfunction. It was just a horrible, cruel father, a depressed mother, and children who didn't know how to survive because they weren't given skills. They weren't taught how to live.
And what's wrong with Deidre? Why did she want the dad so bad? Because he seemed like a loser in every way.
because he portrayed himself to not be a loser. She didn't
Small
want him
towns,
once
isn't it?
his wife wasn't around picking up his slack.
Well, yeah.
I know, psychopathic narcissists. They can put out the lies, and they're some of the best liars around, and I think that that's probably the case with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't even get into the question about whether we think it's a real reflection of people in the world, because I think it is, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, there are real people like
I mean, just somebody that could talk to his, I'm lucky that I've never had that experience. I got a great supportive family like that, a father could talk to his kids like that is heartbreaking. Let's talk about a few of the best parts and then a few of the worst parts of this movie before we continue.
So best part, Toni Collette. Playing Muriel with absolute sincerity. There's no apology. She never tries to make that character palatable or impressive. And I think that choice is everything, because I think the moment an actor, like if another actor sort of like winked at the audience, right, the like Muriel would have become disposable. And I think Collette refuses to do that. She kind of protects Muriel. And by doing that, it's sort of, I don't know if you guys felt this, she kind of quietly indicted the audience for laughing too easily too early on, right? Like that's why I like this movie, because you're kind of laughing and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, somebody's really hurting here, right? And I think her performance was generous and really brave, and I think this is a movie that put her on the map, right? She's become like a Hollywood star, but this is the movie that did it, because she plays Muriel so well.
Yeah, I agree. She wasn't Toni, she was Muriel. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's often that you get kind of those big names where you can actually totally separate it. Like if I see a movie with Cameron Diaz, I'm like, oh cool, it's Cameron Diaz. And the entire way through I'm just like, you go Cameron Diaz. But in this case,
Yeah, Tom Cruise is the same way, right?
yeah,
You
in
go
this
Tom
case-
Cruise, right?
He's Tom Cruise in every movie. He's not his characters. Yeah, it's a really great point. I mean, I'll say it again. Her acting in The Sixth Sense is maybe some of the best acting I've ever seen.
She's if you watch her movies, she is like honestly one of the best. I think the other best parts for me is that sort of tonal shift in the movie when the jokes thin out and the truth lands, and you're left with a little bit of punch in the gut, and the ending. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to shout out the music. That the music was fun. I think it would have been a very different movie without the ABBA music, and I got trivia on that. And all
didn't you love when they're doing like the ABBA video on the stage, like that little
I
sequence?
was just about to call that out as one of the
favorite-
best scenes.
One of my favorite parts
Yeah.
was that they're just fully doing this ABBA performance together, and there's a cat fight going on in the front row, and they're
Yeah,
just unfazed. They're like pulling each other's hair and beating each other up and yelling that they're gonna kill each other, and they're just still like performing their ABBA song. They're unfazed by this like vicious fight going on right in front of them.
It was great. Another favorite scene I had is I actually liked when the South African swimmer apologized to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, the moment when he recognized her worth, that huge swing from when he was disgusted by her most of the time and then recognizing her worth, I thought was really cool.
It's about people growing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
I liked my favorite parts were every time Rhonda confronted like one of the mean girls or someone who was treating them wrong. I loved every confrontation. She was ruthless in the best way.
Oh, when the two sailors come out naked thinking she's being attacked, and she's and Muriel's laughing her head off at the naked guys. That was
funny.
so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Rhonda too, like, I loved her character, because even when she's confronting Muriel and she's like, you left me, this is why I'm here now, and Muriel still doesn't get it, and then at the end when the two of them go riding off together and she turns around, she's just like tells her mom like, we didn't really ever get along. Like, and she tells her, like Mean Girl, she's like, I don't like you.
If you guys will permit me two shallow ones, things I really liked in this movie. First of all, the video store is so much nostalgia for me, because
Yeah.
it's just, you just can't go back to that. That was such a fun time picking a movie in the video store. And the next, by the way, I always wanted that job, video store clerk, because you get to watch movies all day and talk to people about movies. Like, this is the closest I was able to get is this podcast.
Wait, you like talking to people about movies? I didn't know.
The second thing I loved is the green couch in the family's house. It was, I want that couch.
Well, if we're diving this deep on favorite parts, Muriel's parrot earrings, I need a pair of those. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're fun, aren't
Didn't
they?
even notice them.
It's when she's sitting in the cab on the way home from her vacation. She has some pretty sick parrot earrings.
Let's transition. Worst parts. Parts you didn't like in this movie.
Bullying someone for being neurodivergent, because I think that's why they didn't like her.
Yeah, I actually agree with your way of looking at that. It makes sense to me with why she can't quite pick up on like every social cue as easily as other people around her.
Most of the things I didn't like in this movie were there for the effect of the movie. So I didn't like Deidre showing up all the time. I thought she was a bitch and needed to back off. Yeah. I don't like friends telling you they don't want to hang around with you anymore. It seems cruel. Like, there's a nicer way to do it. Just stop inviting her out.
Yeah. You just ghost them.
I didn't like the way the mom in particular was treated by everybody. That was even worse than Muriel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then in a more general sense, I just say a family where no one cares about each other.
Yeah.
Like, that is the worst.
Well, one of the things that upset me the most was when the mom said to her daughter, "Dad just wants to be proud of you." Like, he should be anyway. Yeah. You shouldn't have to accomplish something for your father to be proud of you. That just really highlighted how awful that father was to me.
Yeah, I had some side characters are exaggerated that feel a bit sharp now, but I also had the satire doesn't always soften the blows. Like this is like they're emotional blows in this film, but that harshness actually is supposed to be there because that's the world she's trapped in, right? It's not meant to be kind, but it's hard to watch sometimes. I think that's what you guys are saying. Some of that stuff is just hard to watch.
Well, and I think it's interesting too because like into it, but I just went and saw like it's a comedy. And I'm watching it, and I'm just like, is it?
No.
So I think that having that lens, too, honestly, it probably did a disservice going into it, even though I try and go into these movies, if I haven't seen them, as blind as I possibly can. Yeah. And I wish I had never read the word comedy, because I think that might have actually changed how I approached it.
IMDb, I have the page up. It classifies it as a comedy.
It's so not a comedy.
It's not a funny one.
No, it's not meant to be. It's no.
Well, and I was thinking too, I'm just like, I have a pretty dark sense of humor, and it's still not really. So I don't know if the jokes just weren't hitting or if it's.
I think sometimes IMDb, the people don't actually watch the movie when they write about it. Let's transition to favorite line, and Mathew, I bet you got a couple.
"You're terrible, Muriel," is one of my favorite lines, and "You're not useless," what Rhonda says.
I would rather swallow razor blades than drink with you.
Okay, I had one that really captures the dad's personality. It's when the guy says to him, "I heard you've done a lot of things for the people in this town." And he says, "Who told you that?" "You did."
That was good. That was good.
I also really liked, "Well, I sucked her husband's cock, and it made me realize we all make mistakes."
I had that one too.
That was good.
The other one I had, it wasn't a singular line, but just when she finally confronts her dad. I started to write it down, and then I'm just like, no, this whole part is just probably one of my favorites.
Nice. When the friends were telling her they didn't want to hang out with her anymore and why she was such a bad person, they say, "You listen to 70s music, this is the 90s. Mm-hmm. And that just it's just struck a chord with me because that's kind of me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Do you guys want to hear how this movie did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mathew, you love it. Do you think it was successful?
You know what? I have no idea. I think it's a little bit too, it was successful in my community. I'll tell you that much. There's no gay man my age who hasn't seen this at least 10 times. I have no idea.
Okay, well, according to Box Office Mojo, worldwide, Muriel's Wedding was the 92nd biggest earner at the box office in 1994, just after the next Karate Kid. The Lion King was the biggest earner this year, and Muriel was beat by another wedding-based movie, Four Weddings and a Funeral, which did 4 times.
Good film.
Still, Muriel was not the bottom of the heap, handily beating out Serial Mom, another Stockton favorite.
It's such a good film.
And it also beat Leprechaun 2, another Vanderleeden favorite.
Leprechaun 2.
Forrest Gump was the Oscar winner this year, and I definitely prefer Muriel's Wedding to Forrest Gump. Nicole, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
I don't love either.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't love Forrest Gump, but I'll take Forrest Gump over Muriel's Wedding.
I'd take Muriel's Wedding.
I'd take
over
Muriel's
Forrest
Wedding
Gump
over
any
Forrest
day.
Gump.
Ooh.
And,
This is exciting.
and I didn't like it.
Nicole, I think that's the first time I disagree.
But you're a Tom Hanks
but
hater,
I also
though.
don't
You're a
know
Tom Hanks hater.
how I feel about it. I don't know which one I'd pick because I don't want to watch either.
Tom Hanks, take that, by the way. Come on the pod. Budget, $9 million. Did it make money?
Oh.
What do you think?
Over time, it did. I don't know if it would have at the time. I'd say it made $10 million.
Well,
I think it would have done well in Australia.
Yeah.
Well, worldwide box office 15.5. So it didn't lose money.
No.
Now,
And it launched Toni Collette's career.
I always think the truth teller is Rotten Tomatoes. I think that the way they structure Rotten Tomatoes gets a really good read on how movies did. Critics and audience, what do you guys think?
I think critics at 86, audience at 73.
Mathew?
Well, I think that people who watch it would choose to watch it. And the people that love it absolutely adore it. So I'd say I'd make it an even 83 critics and audience.
Ooh.
What do you think, Nicole?
85 and 80.
Okay, well, these are some of the best scores we've ever had on the show. Critics, 82. 82% of critics that saw this movie said, yeah, it's good.
I was close.
And 84% to the audience.
84?
Yep.
Wow.
So low score wins. Emily, you had a 15, which is a great score, by the way. Nicole, you had a 7, which is a better score. And Mathew, you had a 2, the best score on the show ever.
Well, that's what happens when, this. Sorry, guys. When there's films you cherish. I cherish this film, and I think those scores show what happens when sort of emotional truth outweighs any cleverness. For me, this is such a real film,
And this is the ultimate definition of cult classic, right? People love it, even though it wasn't commercially successful. I got a little bit of trivia for you guys. So first of all, Toni Collette, she gained 40 pounds in 7 weeks to do this movie.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her because I've only seen her how she looks now.
And then by the end of the movie, she shed a few pounds, obviously, in the transformation. Other thing, I called out the music that I thought it was great for this movie. So PJ's persistence to gain the rights to the album music in the film, PJ went to ABBA and said, I want the movie for the film. And they said no. PJ went back and said, come on, I'll give you a cut of the movie profits if you let us. So they let PJ have the rights to the music. And as a result of the success of this film, not financial success, but cultural success, it actually inspired the show Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Oh, want to know another fun thing about ABBA and Australia?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Australia in my 20s, and first day landing, I landed in Sydney. No idea where I was going. I was just wandering around, got lost finding my hostel, ran into the ABBA Museum because they have an entire museum for ABBA in downtown Sydney.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Bill Hunter's portrayal of Muriel's father was designed to be unbearable. reflecting a very specific critique of small-town Australian masculinity and political hypocrisy.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Which that I find stunning. And this movie helped regain credibility for Australian cinema. Okay, woke or joke? Mathew, did you spot anything?
Glad I'm not the only one that liked this film.
No, you're not. You're not the only one that liked this film. I mean, and it's okay if you are the only one that likes the film. I got a handful. But woke or joke, did anybody spot anything that really didn't age well in this?
I think this movie critiques beauty culture and marriage pressure and social cruelty without speeches, without slogans. And I think it trusts the audience to feel the cost of those things. So I don't think it's woke or not. I think it's just a compassionate film.
Yeah, I think anything that didn't age well was all the bullying, but people still do that. So,
and that's the point of the movie, right? So,
yeah, I agree. I thought it was just, it didn't really sugarcoat things. It laid it out there, and there was a lot of truth in the movie.
It was good in that way. Mm-hmm. Well, however you guys felt about this movie, I promise you there's others who liked it more or less than you. For this movie, there were a massive 62 10-star reviews out of 212 total reviews. First one, I know it's a great movie because it made me cry, and I don't cry while watching any movie. Some would say it's not a good movie. I would say watch it and fall in love with Toni Collette in Australia. She made it one of the warmest places on earth. It will make you recheck your list of friends and who are the true ones. It will make you recheck your life to make sure you're living it right and for the right reasons. Someone named Scoot calls Muriel's Wedding one of his top 10 movies of all time. Someone called Cat Fanatic says, if you don't feel compassion and empathy for Muriel, you're a sociopathic monster. And finally, Lady Lynch says, it's not Adam Sandler, but that's why I love it.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Well, would that be coming out around the same time as The Wedding Singer?
Oh, that is a great...
Because that would have been around the same time as, like, Wedding Singer, Billy Madison, and Happy Gilmore, kind of that whole era. I just know that because I watched those when they came out, and I was way too young to be watching
Wedding Singer was after this.
I don't know, but I'm going to start saying that for everything.
Okay, no. Wedding Singer was a fantastic film, and sure, I haven't watched it in 10 to 20 years, but
it's a sweet
stand
movie.
by that until I rewatch it and I'm proven wrong.
I don't think I've ever.
I stand with you, Emily.
Yes.
Well, let's hear from people who liked it less. And funny enough, there were only 6 people who gave it a 1-star review. I mean, I think you really got to hate a movie to give it a 1-star. Anyhow, Ann Donna says, take an antidepressant before you watch it. In a review titled Excruciatingly Painful and Depressing, and My Wife Hated It Too, they summarize the movie as... By the way, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading it. Summarize the movie as some ditzy, vacuous fatty steals her parents' life savings and goes on a cruise to find a man. Ouch.
I want to punch that person in the face.
I know.
See, it's people like that who have no capacity for self-reflection that do not get this movie.
1-star people are angry people.
Yeah.
How about this? My 14-year-old sister-in-law rented this movie and she is now forbidden from ever choosing a movie again. And then the last one. I mean, this one is so offside. If you hate ABBA music like I do, the music makes the movie even more unbearable to watch.
Nobody can hate ABBA.
Nobody can hate
My mom hates ABBA.
Oh.
I like ABBA, but the funny thing is that because this came up over Christmas and we point out to her, Mom, why do you hate ABBA? You took us to see Mamma Mia. I got nothing.
Okay, I'm going to move on to Siskel and Ebert, the professionals. Mathew, what do you think those snobs liked it?
2 thumbs up.
Ebert praised the film for its balance of satire and misery, highlighting its good heart and Toni Collette's performance, while Siskel described it as gloriously funny and a breakout hit. 2 thumbs up.
Gloriously funny, I feel like makes me question whether he watched it, but...
Some bits are. But...
Okay, remake. Does this movie deserve a remake or sequel? Mathew, would you like to see more from these characters?
No remake ever. This story ends exactly where it should, and if anyone tried to remake this, they would screw it up.
Well, PJ,
I want this movie just to remain what it is.
PJ, the director, has said the story is complete and doesn't lend itself to a sequel without undermining the ending.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have a sequel.
Similarly, Toni Collette has been asked about it. She speaks fondly about the movie, but has no interest in revisiting the character.
No.
Okay.
Seems like it would be a hard character to play.
Before we get to the end, I have one more question for you guys. What is your favorite wedding-based movie? And I'll rattle off some titles.
This one.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding, The Wedding Singer, Bridesmaids, Father the Bride, Wedding Crashers, Princess Bride, Runaway Bride. There's a lot of wedding movies.
Princess Bride.
Emily?
I think maybe Bridesmaids.
And I am
Bridesmaids is good.
Wedding Crashers is my favorite wedding movie.
I'm this one, but I also really like My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Andrea Martin's hilarious in it.
Oh, I love Andrea Martin. When someone says they don't like Andrea Martin, who I haven't met yet, but I don't think I could like that.
My favorite line in that film is when the soon-to-be bride is telling her mom that her soon-to-be husband is a vegetarian, and she goes, "That's all right. We'll have lamb."
And I maintain, if you pick up a bottle of Windex and you've seen that movie and you don't think of that movie, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Well, I also want to give a shout out for The Wedding Singer, Emily, and because of you, I'm going to put it on a list of movies we'll do.
Okay, I'm tagging in. I will take on other people. I'll fight if I have to get on that one.
I would like to see you fight other people, so I'm going to put someone on the cast that I that I think will be antagonistic. That'll be fun.
That'll be so fun. I can't wait to destroy them.
We are at the end of the podcast, and we need to make a judgment. Is this movie too old or pure gold?
Pure gold.
Too old, but I came into this very open-minded, and I would actually really like to do a rewatch with some of this commentary in mind.
That often happens to me.
I agree with that statement. I think it's technically pure gold, even though I didn't personally enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
Mathew, this is your picks. So I will say this movie was good. It had a lot of interesting things in it. I just didn't enjoy it. So I'm giving it a too old, but I think it was a good pick and a good discussion.
Good.
Emily, nice to see you on the podcast again. We missed having you on. Nicole,
Thanks for joining us, Emily.
you're delightful as always. Mathew, you were oddly pleasant today.
Debatable.
You know, I'm softening in my older age.
Oh, it's good. It's good. No, you're always delightful, Mathew. I'm just giving you a hard time. Have a good Sunday, everyone.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.